It's for somebody special. Yeah. Can't wait it out tonight. Baby, you special. Can't wait it out tonight.
Good afternoon. I'm Gigi and welcome back. It is Thursday and I'm about to head to the post office to mail off a few Poshmark orders. After that, I need to return something to TJ Maxx and I need to find a basket to put some beauty products and perfume in for my great niece Taylor for her birthday coming up. And after that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may go to the soul food restaurant that I normally go to once a week and pick up me some veggies. Because, y'all, it's just me. I don't feel like going through. Sometime on Sunday, I will cook up a bunch of vegetables and that sort of last me through the week. But I'm going to be honest with you. I've been lazy, and with all this stuff going on with produce and fruit, I'm just like, child. It's so much easier for me to go to this restaurant and get 4 vegetables and pay $11, and they really pile it up because I'm only getting vegetables. So I think I may do that. And I haven't been to the Goodwill at all this week. I think I went Sunday, and that's it. I did go drop off some stuff yesterday. Yes, yesterday. But I did not go in. I have not gone in. So I may not go until Monday when it's $1.25. But I haven't gone. I really want to go to some upscale consignment shops in Atlanta, but I'm gonna wait. I may be taking a trip here in a couple of weeks or next month, but we shall see. I'm here at the post office and I'll talk to you guys when I get back. Okay, I'm back. Let's adjust this camera. That was quick. I sold a pair of Sam Edelman jelly sandals and the Ralph Lauren pajamas. So I still haven't posted anything on eBay. Sometimes I get tired of going between 2 different sites. I may try to Depop. See how that goes. Yeah, I may try them. I don't know. The phone is a little crooked. Y'all, I was thinking about something. I had something on my mind I want to talk to you guys about. I had someone who we were supposed to be best friends, and I found out this person was dibbling and dabbling with witchcraft. And so I was kind of pulling back slowly but surely. But something happened. How I realized she was dibbling in witchcraft, dealing with it, is I was getting my makeup done for an event, and we was just having this casual conversation, and she mentioned how she had been going to this new person to get her units installed, because by that time I wasn't doing hair anymore. And she mentioned that the front of her hair was falling out. She said she took my hair out, and I said, well, I don't think she did it on purpose. She was like, no, she took all my hair out across the front. And she said, but I got something for her. The next full moon, I'm gonna light a candle and I'm gonna fix her. And I didn't react to it. I just filed it away. I said, in my mind, I said, okay, so this is what we're doing. And I filed it away. But I did tell her, I said, I don't think the hairstylist took your hair out on purpose, because she's one of those people that has a very low forehead, so she doesn't have a whole lot of, some of the people may know, some people have a low forehead and they can't wear bangs, because if you cut their hair, even if you cut it past their eyebrows, their hair will stick up because their forehead is so low. And she has one of those foreheads, so there's no way the woman could glue the wig down, on top of her eyebrows. So apparently she probably got some of the adhesive on her hairline. There's no way possibly she could not have gotten it on her hairline, because I know how her hairline is. So I said, but it's up to you. Every time you go, you've been going to this woman for months. Every time she removed that unit and shampoo and condition your hair, it's up to you to look in the mirror and examine your hair to see what's going on, to see if you need to pull back, if your hair is still doing good, or if you're losing hair. I mean, who goes and just lets someone turns you away from the mirror every time you get your unit applied or new unit applied and you don't check your hairline? So I said, there's a lot of hairstylists or beauticians, whatever you want to refer to them as, that are just into making your hair look good. They're not actually into healthy hair. My concept was always healthy hair first. I mean, we can do the weaves and the wigs and the braids and whatever, the quick weaves, but my job is to make sure that your hair up under all that is healthy. So she's like, no, I'm gonna fix her. So I left the conversation alone. Fast forward, I guess about a year, not quite a year, COVID happened and we're working from home, and she didn't work. She's a stay-at-home wife. She called me out of the blue and asked me, did I still have some pajamas that she gave me for a birthday gift over a year ago? And I said, yeah, why wouldn't I have them? Now, let me tell you, these pajamas are nothing that I would wear. In fact, I was getting ready to go on a cruise for my 50th birthday. And the day before the cruise, I'm running around, I'm getting a manicure, pedicure, just picking up last minute items. And she just kept calling me, insisting that she had a gift for me that she wanted me to take with me on my cruise. Now, this is before I knew she was dibbling and dabbling in witchcraft. So I said, well, I'm so busy, I don't know what time I'm going to get home. I said, but I'm headed over here to this nail shop by Target if you want to meet me there. She said, yeah, I'll meet you. So it was a Christmas gift, or Christmas/birthday gift, because my birthday is right after Christmas. And so I said, okay. I said, well, I have your Christmas gift in the trunk of my car, because for some reason we just never got together around Christmas time. So I pulled up to park, and then so she said, well, I'm not even 3 minutes away, so I just wait in my car. And she pulls up, and I give her her gift bag, and then she gave me my bag. Now, what I purchased for her was a Barefoot Dreams long cardigan. And if you know anything about Barefoot Dreams, they're not cheap. So I gave her gift. She looked at it. She said, oh, this is beautiful. It's so soft. I've always wanted one of these. And so when I open up my gift, I'm thinking it's going to be something really amazing, something that I'm going to use on this cruise, or something that I could wear. Girl, I opened up that daggone gift. It was a pair of crop pajamas with the short sleeve. It had buttoned up, and it had little roses and flowers and daisies all over it. And I'm thinking to myself, I know she lying. I know this is a joke. But I said, girl, thank you. And I just went on about my way. I went and did what I had to do, and went on. I didn't take it with me on my cruise because it's nothing that I would really wear. So what I did with the pajamas when I got back home was, anytime I get gifts and it's nothing that I really like, I just put it aside and maybe I'll bless someone else with it, or I'll go take it to the Goodwill or somewhere. Or I used to take clothes to this behavior center where they had women that was going through a transitional program. Either they was getting off the streets from being homeless, getting off drugs, or coming out of domestic violence situations. I would donate a lot of stuff to them. So I took the pajamas, I folded them, I put them in my guest room. I say, well, this will be if someone comes over and maybe they forget pajamas, or they just, like my mom would come over and she would randomly say, well, I think I'm gonna stay tonight. I said, well, I have some pajamas here. They were new with the tag still on, but it just wasn't my style, and she knew it wasn't my style. And she and I have had conversations before about, don't buy me gifts, don't buy me anything just to give me a gift. If you don't know what to give me, just get me a gift card. You know, she knew I like a certain perfume. She knew that I like cardigans. Don't just buy me anything. So I didn't think about that more. Went on about my business. I went on my cruise. I had an amazing time. And I have to tell you the story while she didn't go on the cruise with us because we went to Cuba. This is before they shut it down again. But get back, told her everything was good, the trip was amazing. She never asked me about the pajamas. Like 6, 7, 8 months go by, and then after she makes a statement about the woman doing her hair and how she's going to light a candle the next full moon and fix this woman, she calls me randomly out the blue. Now, in between the 6 to 8 months, she says, girl, I'm reading this book, you should read it, it's wonderful. I said, okay, I'll kind of go to the base. On my way back, I'll stop by and pick it up. But when I get the book, it's based off New Orleans witchcraft and all this voodoo stuff, and I'm like, she know I don't read stuff like this. I don't read this. So, and she had a lot of pages bookmarked. Well, as soon as I opened the book and read the introduction, the forward word, I said immediately, this is not for me. I put the book down, I put it in my nightstand. I said, you know, when I go back by her house, I'm going to give it to her. Every time I tried to call her to give her this book, she made an excuse why she was so busy. She was getting ready to leave the house, or she wasn't feeling well, or she wasn't up to company, or her and her husband was getting ready. She would just make excuses for me not to drop off this book that I had of hers. And I also had borrowed this shapewear that she had because I was going to be in a wedding, but I didn't end up needing the shapewear because I had lost a little more weight, so everything was fine. I didn't need the shapewear. So it's like, girl, I want to give you your shapewear and your book. I said, because I'm just not in a reading mood, so I don't want to just hold on to your book, and I don't want to misplace it. And she just made excuses for about good 2 to 3 months. Well, when she called me out the blue and she just said, hey girl, how are you doing? I said, I'm doing well. She said, oh, do you still have those pajamas I gave you for your birthday last year? I said, yeah, why wouldn't I have them? She's like, oh, okay. She said, okay then, well, I'm doing some arts and crafts. I want to make something for you for your door. I said, well, you know, I'm not really big into arts and crafts. I said, but I will buy a wreath from you to support you. I said, I have a lady that's like a bonus mom to me. I said, she loves this stuff, and I'll just bless her with it. She's like, oh, okay. I said, but I'm getting ready to go pick up some food that I ordered from this Mexican restaurant, and I'll call you when I get back home, and I'll tell you what colors and everything that I want. She's like, oh, okay. We hung up the phone. Well, 15 minutes later, I went and picked up the food. I got back home. I tried to call her. She didn't answer the phone, so I text her, give me a call when you get this message. I'm back at home, so I can tell you, you know, what colors I want you to make in the wreath. Y'all, I'm not lying to you. From that day on, I didn't hear from her for 6 years. 6 years. But when she never called me back that day, the next day I was on my treadmill and something said, get up, stop, get up, get that book, get everything that she gave you and throw it away. So the only thing I had in my house was the pajamas, because I had took the book and the body shaper and put it in a bag and put it in the trunk of my car. I got up, I got the pajamas, I got the bag out of the trunk of my car, I put the pajamas inside, I tied it up, and I threw it in the trash. I never heard from her for 6 years. Well, last Sunday, my phone rang. I never tried to call her or anything. Because when someone walk away, they're walking away for a reason. I let them. That's just God's way of saying that this season is over and not everybody's meant to be in your life forever. Well, my phone rang and it was a number I didn't recognize, and I wasn't going to answer it because it's normally telemarketers or, you know, those automated calls. But I said no. Sometimes my bank will call me about a charge I just made, and it'll be a number that I don't know. So I picked up the phone, and I wasn't doing anything but just cleaning up. I said, hello, who am I speaking to? And she was like, girl, this is such and such. I'm not gonna say her name. I said, oh, well, welcome back from the dead. And she laughed, and she's like, oh, yeah, how you been? I said, I've been fine. And I said, how have you been? She said, I'm fine. I was real cordial. And so I said, well, I'm retired now. And she's like, oh, really? I said, yeah. I took the early retirement. I was eligible for it. And she had said, well, you know, we moved back to another state. I said, oh, okay. I asked her how her husband was. She said he retired. They moved after retired. They had been there about 4 years. I said, yeah. Well, I kind of figured you guys would after he retired. I said, but, you know, I didn't see you guys around, so I figured you probably had moved. And she's like, yeah. And we just small talk about grandkids and kids and everything. And then she says, now remind you, the number that she called me from, I didn't have it programmed in my phone. It was a new number. I still had her old number programmed in my phone. I never deleted it. And she said, well, I was wondering why I never heard from you all this time. I said, well, how would you hear from me? It's apparently you changed your phone number at some time. You knew you didn't give it to me. I said, in the last conversation we had, I was going to call you because you're not going to call me and pretend like what happened didn't happen. You're not going to pretend like you didn't pull a switcheroo or whatever you was trying to do. I said, no, we had a conversation one day. I was going to pick up some food and I was going to call you back to tell you what I wanted you to make for me. I said, but you never picked up your phone and you didn't respond to the text messages. And here we are almost 6 years later. I said, how would I called you? You got a new number. And she said, oh yeah, I did change my number at some time. Yeah, I guess I did change my number at some time. So the conversation was small. She talked about she had brought a new car and she wanted to do a road trip. I said, well, I'm not doing a whole lot of traveling right now. I just did a back and forth to get my granddaughters from Oklahoma and take them back home. I said, so I will not be doing a road trip if it's required for me to drive. But I knew in my heart I was not taking a road trip with you anywhere. So the conversation, it was about 8 minutes in. I said, oh, okay, girl, well, it was good hearing from you, you know, talk to you later, take care of yourself. And in my mind, that was the final conversation ever. Because for you to call me after 6 years and pretend like just a couple of months have gone by and you tried to call me and I didn't return your call, well, I wonder why you never called me and never heard from you, you know. And like I had a conversation with my sister. She said the devil will always look back to see if what they did was working, and I guess she realized it wasn't working, so now she had to come up with another strategy. But if you betray me once, you'll never get another chance. And this season of my life, I'm done with second chances. So I was done with that conversation. I talked to my best friend, my other best friend about it, and my sister about it, and I was done. I was gonna block her number, but I said, no, I'm not gonna block your number because you're gonna call me back. I'm the same person that's so forgiving and that things will pick up where they were, but no, I'm a different person. And knowing that you deal in the things that you deal in, I want no part of that. So lo and behold, I had told her that I was planning on taking a trip within the next 2 weeks to go to Oklahoma to visit my son and my granddaughter. And she said, okay, well then I'll talk to you before you leave. And I said, the hell you will. What you gonna do, try to put some voodoo on the plane I'm gonna get on? And so I said, girl, lo and behold, about a week and a half later, one day on a Sunday, my phone is ringing. I looked over because when she called, I saved it as her name and do not answer. When I saw that popped up, I did not answer it. So then, this is ironic. She sent me a text message. Hey, it's me. Can you please call me back? Please, ma'am. I didn't respond. I didn't do anything. Because I'm going to give you the same grace you gave me. I'm going to measure you out the same spoon you measured me out of 6 years ago. And what's understood doesn't need to be said. That door is closed. I'm like Nene Leakes. The door is closed. That friendship has been put to rest. It will never be the same. I wish you no harm. I wish you no bad luck, but I'm done with you. I don't deal with people that try to wish harm on people, try to do things that manipulate people. That's not me. That's not who I am, and I don't want to affiliate myself with such a person, and so I'm done. When all that happened, I just prayed for her, and I released the friendship. I'm done. I'm here at TJ Maxx now, so I want to know, how would you guys have handled that? You know, I could have went off on, I could have said some things, but what difference does it make? All you're going to do is deny it and lie and laugh and be like, do you think I would actually do something like that to you? Yeah, I do. I really do. And when the Holy Spirit told me to get all those things and throw them away, I did just that. And I never heard from her again. We didn't have an argument or anything. So what was the purpose of you not answering my phone call or responding to my text message? Because when you asked me, did I still have those pajamas? You was trying to give me something to put at my front door, but I told you I didn't want it, then I would gift it to someone else. So you knew you couldn't get me that way. So when you asked if I still had those pajamas, I knew exactly what you was trying to do, because you had already revealed to me who you were months ago, almost a year prior, when you was speaking about the hairstylist. So I just took all the information, all the little things she was saying, and I filed away, and I was like, no, I'm done with this. So yeah, that's the situation of how I'm supposed to have been best friend for almost 30 years. Tried to, I don't know, honey, put a spell, cast a spell, voodoo or whatever on me for no reason at all. And she would always make little comments like, I did hair full time, and then I started working at the base, and I started moving up, and I got in finance, and I started getting promoted. And she was like, yeah, I remember when you used to do hair at your house. And I remember when, I'd be like, yeah. I would never get angry. I'd be like, yeah, isn't God great? But I knew it was meant to be an underhanded compliment. I would never get upset, because sometimes people would say mean and cruel things to you to try to get under your skin and try to get a reaction from you. I would never give her a reaction. So when she would say something else, she would try to elevate it. But that just caused me to spend less and less time with her and put a lot of distance between us. So when that happened, I didn't grieve it. I wasn't hurt. I was expecting it, and I sort of did it in a way where she could leave the friendship and that I could be at peace. But yeah, you have to watch the people that, not the people that don't like you, but the people that are real close to you. You have to watch them. And I just wanted to tell you guys that little story while I was driving here to TJ Maxx. But yeah, have you guys had anything like that happen to you? Don't be surprised at what people will do or what they're dibbling and dabbling in, because nothing surprises me at this age. Nothing. Okay, so we're going to go in here and make this exchange, and I'll talk to you guys later. Good afternoon. It is Monday, and we're at the Goodwill. I'm just going to run in right quick and see if they have anything worth getting. I don't plan on spending much time in here at all. So I'll talk to you guys when we get out. Must be some good stuff in here. I think that's a man's shirt. Hey, I'm back. We just left the Goodwill. I only picked up 2 pieces. Not bringing all this stuff in. I need to get my closet completely down to where I want it. Get rid of all the fluff and all of the stuff that I've been holding on to that I haven't worn, or wore once and never wore it again. Never pulled it out. Before I really start bringing in any big ticketed items or purchasing stuff. Goodwill, thrifting, I can do that. It's saving the planet. But I wanted some tacos, and I didn't feel like cooking, and I wasn't gonna go buy everything to make no tacos, wait for the ground beef to throw out. So I just went to Taco Bell and I got me 2 tacos. That's it. I don't normally eat out like that, fast food. I don't do it, so it's okay every once in a while. And I'm down 5.5 pounds. So this will be my first meal of the day. It's 1:20. I'll break my fast once I get home. I picked up more of a, it wasn't an animal print. It was a black and cream blazer top, but it's 100% silk, and a silk gray blouse. I'll show you in the next video, but I'm gonna end the video here. You guys would have seen me go to the post office last Thursday and mail off a couple of packages, and then I did the story time about my supposedly best friend that was working voodoo and black magic. Yeah, I didn't do anything Friday but edited, and I put out a video Saturday about 3-4 o'clock. I ran to Ross, picked up a mirror for the beauty room, and I got some foam and soap from Bath and Body Works. That was it. I was home all day Sunday. I lounged around in my pajamas. I didn't do anything. I cooked me some breakfast, and then later on about 7 p.m. I did me some hot wings, and that was it. Just watched television. And today is Monday. Went back to the post office, mailed off about 6 more packages. I had 6 more sales. The Poshmark closet is doing very well. And that's it. I'll pick up the next video. I'm gonna tell you about how she was supposed to go on my 50th cruise and didn't go, and I'll tell you why she didn't go. That's gonna blow your mind. And that's it until the next video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.